Welcome everyone to the channel. I'm Biggie Sweats, and today I'm going to be bringing you an Assassination Rogue guide for all you beginners or people that might be wanting to get into another spec. Now we're a little bit further down the line with Dragonflight Season 1. Now I do want to apologize for not being around so much. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I've last uploaded. I really do want to get this schedule down and start uploading more frequently. I want to move on from just builds. I want to bring in some wild news as we cover like nerfs and things coming out, all that good stuff, as well as still providing you with some beginner guides and some prep ways that you can do well on all your classes. Now let's jump straight into the video. It's been a while, so let's do it. Make sure you come and check us out live on twitch.tv/Biggie Sweats Monday, Wednesday, Friday from around 6 p.m. GMT onwards. We do viewer raids, viewer keys. We just have an amazing time. We've got 2 giveaways going at the moment, so come and check us out over there. It'll be a pleasure to meet you all properly. Now, as we always do, we're going to cover the viability of Assassination Rook within raiding and Mythic dungeon environments. Now, it doesn't hold the candle to the other 2 specs, but I have been playing around with it a lot, and I am really enjoying it. I've always been an Assassination fanboy, so coming back to this and trying it out has been awesome. Now, it's still able to pump high burst AoE damage with specific builds, but where it shines is in its pure single target. Even with my stats and stuff not set up properly, I was still able to pump pretty high damage in the raids with Assassination Rook. Now, some of its strengths are high sustained DPS in both single target and multi-target situations, which it does is very consistent with what it provides. Ability to provide strong execute damage when talenting into Blindside and Zoldyck Recipe. It has exceptional survivability, in which all the rogue specs do, with Feign, Cheat Death, Cloak of Shadows, Evasion, Crimson Vow. We can keep ourselves going constantly. Normally the last one's alive in most environments. We have very good group utility, Shroud of Concealment to skip, Sap, Blind, Garrote, Gouge. We've got all these little things which we can stun and silence enemies, and we are very flexible as swapping talents allows for a focus on single target or AoE. Now we can go into a combo of both, but we can specifically aim for one if need be. Now it has a very high lack of burst damage outside of specific builds, meaning you are most likely going to be locked into builds. This is one of its weaknesses. Target swapping is difficult if the enemies are not in melee range. Now there is a talent that allows you to spread your Garrote and Rupture onto other targets, but it is mainly all the AoE we have. Distinct talent builds for single targets and AoE means there's no catch-up build. This means there is no mass build you can go for dungeons, meaning you can't have high single target and you can't have high AoE. You can only have high one or the other. Now, it's not got many weaknesses, and it still is a very strong spec, and it's very fun to play. I recently did a 20 Halls of Valor with it, and it's definitely viable. You can definitely blast. It is such a fun spec, so I would go and give it a try if you want to. Now, here are some of my Assassination Rogue passes. As you can see, we are doing very well. In some situations, I do beat out my Outlaw and Sub-Rogue DPS, which is crazy. But I'm having a lot of fun with this. You will too. I'm going to be practicing more in Heroic and Mythics and actually providing some more knowledge about these classes. But as you can see, we're still doing very well in this spec. So next up, we have the juicy part of the video, and that is your talents. The left side of the talent tree is, of course, your rogue talents that all specs have access to. So let's jump into this. Row 1, we have Shiv, Blind, and Sap. Row 2, we have Evasion, Cheat Death, and Cloak of Shadows. In row 3, we are taking Master Poisoner, Entropic Poison, and Blackjack. In row 4, we are taking Fleet-Footed, we are taking Improved Sprint, and Shadow Step. In row 5, we are taking Virulent Poisons, Unbreakable Stride, and Tight Spender. In row 6, we are taking 2 points Deadly Precision and 2 points Thieves' Versatility. In row 7, we are taking Vigor and Acrobatic Strikes. In row 8, we are taking Leeching Poison, 1 point Lethality, Recuperator, and 2 points Alacrity. We are taking in row 9, 2 points Sealed Fate, we are taking Echoing Reprimand, and we are taking Deeper Stratagem. In row 10, we are taking Thistletea and Resounding Clarity. Now, this is going to be your raiding talents. This is your left side of this tree, raiding talents. Now, the right side. Now, this will change depending on whether you want pure AoE, pure single target, or just an overall build for the whole raid. Now, this is an overall build for the whole raid. I will include down below a build for Teros and a build for Primal Council in the bio so you can quickly swap between if need be. But this one will work on every other boss, just not Teros and Council. So, we're going to start with Deadly Poison. In row 2, we're going Improved Shiv, Venomous Wounds, and Shadow Step. In row 3, we're taking Cut to the Chase, 2 points Elaborate Planning, Improved Poisons, 1 point, and 2 points Bloody Mess. In row 4, we are taking Improved Garrote. In row 5, we are taking Death Mark and Exsanguinate. In row 6, we are taking 2 points Vicious Venoms and 2 points Lethal Dose. In row 8, we are taking Systemic Failure. We are taking Amplifying Poison and Doomblade. In row 8, we are taking Blindside. We are taking 2 points Poison Bomb. We are taking Shrouded Suffocation. And we are taking Serrated Bone Spike. In row 9, we are taking 2 points Zoldyck Recipe, 2 points Dashing Scoundrel, and finishing the build with Dragon Tempered Blades. This is what your raid talents are going to look like and are going to do you wonders throughout the whole raid. So next up, we have your Mythic Dungeon talents. Now, the left side of the tree does not change hardly any. As you can see, it is only this section right here that changes at all. So what we are going to do is we are going to change Anthropic Poison for Numbing Poison. We are going to take Gouge, and we are going to take Tricks of the Trade so we can generate that threat onto another target. You're going to talent out of Master Poisoner, and that is all you need to do with the left side of the tree. Now, the right side of the tree changes quite a bit because we're going to be heading way more into the AoE environment, but still holding some single target and some CDs that are going to do wonders on the bosses. So we're going to start with row 1, and that is, of course, Deadly Poison. Row 2 is Improved Shiv, Venomous Wounds, and Shadow Step. Row 3 is 1 point Cut to the Chase, 2 points Elaborate Planning, 2 points Improved Poisons, and 2 points Bloody Mess. Row 4 is Throw Precision and Improved Garrote. Row 5 is Crimson Tempest. Of course, we always need this for an AoE environment. Then we are taking Death Mark and Exsanguinate. In row 6, we are taking Lethal Dose, 2 points, and Iron Wire. In row 7, we are taking Amplifying Poison. Row 8, 2 points Poison Bomb, Shrouded Suffocation. And row 9, we are taking Dashing Scoundrel, 2 points, 3 points Scent of Blood. And the final row, we are taking Dragon Tempered Blades and the AoE Indiscriminate Charge, which allows your next Garrote and your next Rupture to apply up to 8 targets, which is always needed. Now, these are your Mythic Dungeon talents. Use them well. They are going to carry you to high damage. Now, on to your stat prios, gems, enchants, and consumables that you're going to need to take Rogue to the next step. Now, our stat priority is as follows: Agility, Crit, Mastery, Haste, and Verse. This is very different to your Outlaw. If you're swapping from Outlaw to Asa Rogue, you're going to have a bit of a stat difference because versatility is a main stat over there. Now, you want to focus on dropping that verse and bringing up that mastery, because your mastery is going to be low strictly because you've been playing other specs. The one good thing is that your main stat crit is the same for all 3 rogue specs, so it's probably going to be pretty high considering you've been focusing on getting that up anyway. Now, gems and enchants, everything is going to be shown on screen for ease of search for you. Now, the gems you're going to be going are either the Skillful Illimited Diamond, which is a Mastery Crit gem, or the Inscribed Illimited Diamond, which is a primary stat and crit. Now, this is going to want to go into your neck piece, as this can hold 3 slots. The other gems for your other slots, the other 2 spaces in your neck, and whatever other gem slots you actually have, you're going to be either rolling the Sensei's Nalferite, which is Mastery Crit, or the Sensei's Alexstrasite, which is Crit Mastery. Whatever you need to bring up more should be the primary one that you are taking. Now, I will always say, sim your gear. You can sim gems, you can sim enchants, you can sim all that good stuff. So sim what you need gems wise to bring up your stats so you're doing more damage. Now, your enchants, main hand and offhand, are going to be Sophic Devotion. You can roll Frozen Devotion, but Sophic is better in all environments. Now, boots, you're going to be rolling Plain Runner's Breeze or Watcher's Loam. Your chest is going to be Waking Stats. Your cloak is going to be Regenerative Leech. I wish I could talk. Your braces are Devotion of Leech. Your legs, Fierce Armor Kit. And your rings are going to be Devotion of Mastery or Devotion of Crit, depending on what you need to bring up. I would say keeping your crit around 39-40% is going to do you wonders, and then you can bring your mastery up and lower that verse. So next up, we have your consumables, what you can do to prep for your dungeons and raids. Now, there are 2 flasks to choose from: Phial of Elemental Chaos or Phial of Tepid Versatility. Both are very good. Both will increase your damage, so test them out, sim them if need be, see which one works best for you. Now, your combat potion, so your pre-part, during fight potion, you're going to want the Potion of Ultimate Power, the Elemental Potion of Ultimate Power, or the elemental potion of power will do just fine if you don't have access to the big boy one. Now, you want health potions. I cannot reiterate it enough how many times it saved my life in dungeons and raids. Being 0 to 100 with just a singular health potion is amazing. So you want refreshing health potion. Your food, they're cheap, so just grab a few grand banquets of Kalawuk or some soup. Now, they are cheap. Just go buy them. 100 gold for one, and it's going to last you, especially in raids, it's going to last you a while if you don't die. Next up, weapon buffs. You want buzzing rune on each for the crit boost, or you can use primal whetstones for the attack power. If your crit is low, I would say get the buzzing rune to bring that crit up a little bit. If not, you can go for the attack power. They both do really good DPS. There's not much difference between them both. Now, next up, we're going to talk a little bit about gear and what you should be aiming for with that. Now, of course, you should be aiming for your 4 set. You can do this by doing dungeons and upgrading your gear now that the catalyst is out, or you can still go and try and test your luck within the raid environment. Now, the 4 set is pretty decent for our Assassination Rogue. 2 set is providing Envenom also increases your weapon's poison damage by 20%, and the 4 set, when your weapon's poison deals direct damage, you have a 50% chance to gain septic wounds, increasing your bleed damage by 4% for 8 seconds, stacking up 5 times. So it's basically just a flat out increase. You don't really have to worry about it. You don't really have to do much as long as you're using Envenom and you've got poisons on your target. You're going to proc and do the extra damage that this provides. So, some best in slot items you can aim for, starting with trinkets. Now, Manic Grief Torch from Broodkeeper, amazing. Controlled Current Technique from Kuragring Totem. Storm Eater's Boon from Dathia. Hunger of the Pack from Halls of Valor. Primal Whetstone from Court of Stars. Algafar's Puzzle Box from Algafar's Academy are all amazing trinkets you can aim for. The top 4, though, I would say Manic, Controlled Current Technique, Storm Eater's Boon, and Hunger of the Pack for Assassination Rogue, followed closely by the Puzzle Box. Now, I'm going to start with stated crafted items that you should be aiming for right away. Now, the Elemental Lariat should be primary here. Getting that neck, getting the gems on it is going to be a DPS increase. Next, you want the Flaring Cow combined with one of the rings or both of the rings, Seal of Filial Duty or the Seal of Deherna's Chosen. These 2 rings combined with the helmet, DPS increase. Next up, you're going to want to craft 2 Primal Molten Short Blades, both in main hand and offhand. These are your crafted items that you should work towards straight away. Now, if you don't have your crafted or you can't get it just yet, then your weapons you want to be aiming for in the raid are the Ornamental Draconoid Claw from Broodkeeper Deherna, main hand and offhand, or Fenrir's Bloodstained Fang from Halls of Valor. That goes for weapons. Rings, you want to be aiming for the Jeweled Signet of Melandros from Court of Stars, or the Platinum Starband from Algafar Academy. And again, you want to be aiming still for the Seal of Filial Duty and the Seal of Deherna's Chosen from the raid. Now, let's talk about that juicy rotation. So the final part of the video and how you can perform Assassination Rogue to the best of your abilities. Now, the single target opener of the Assassination Rogue is going to look something like this. We're going to Garrote into Serrated Bone Spike, Slice and Dice, Mutilate to 5+ combat points. We're going to then Rupture the target into Death Mark. Then we're going to Shiv, Echo Reprimand, and Envenom. After the empowered Garrote finishes, Vanish to reapply the new empowered Garrote. Looks something like this on screen with your correct talents. So the AoE opener is going to look something like this. Indiscriminate Carnage into Garrote, Fan of Knives, Echoing Reprimand into Rupture, then Fan of Knives, apply your Crimson Tempest, then Exsanguinate, Death Mark, Shiv, Envenom, Vanish, and then into Garrote, and then it's just a whole lot of Fan of Knives, keeping up your Rupture, your Garrote, your Crimson Tempest, and then applying Shiv when it's up, and Envenom at 5+ combat points to hopefully hit that Poison Bomb for the AoE. Very simple rotation, as it just sometimes falls down to Fan of Knives and keeping the bleeds up. And that is it, you absolute legends. As you can see, the Assassination Rogue is probably one of the easier specs when it comes to Rogue. It's got very, very simple rotation, very simple mechanics. It's all very straightforward. Just keep them bleeds up, Shiv to make them proc faster, get the Envenoms in when you can, get that Poison Bomb proc, and you are sorted. Now, I want to thank you so much for checking out the video. I hope this Assassination Rogue guide has helped and has made you want to try it. I'm having a hell of a lot of fun with this spec, and truly it remains probably my favorite out of the 3 specs. It's just a shame it isn't as viable as the other 2, but that does not mean it cannot perform at high content. Now, just want to say thank you for all the subs, the comments, the likes. It's been truly fantastic. We've been able to surpass 2,000 subs on this channel, and hopefully that just increases and increases. I want to start providing you with news on nerfs, buffs, everything going on in the WoW universe, as well as these guys, and maybe a 0 to hero every now and then. We've just achieved 2,700, all 20s timed, so I'm genuinely just vibing out on WoW at the moment. So I want to thank you for being here, and until next time, peace.